So we going curly flip over for curly flip over. Which one is winning? Hey y'all, it's Jayla, aka JaiChanellie on the internet. Welcome back to my channel and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now the girls have been saying that the new human hair crochet installs are giving sew-in but better. As a girl who has done a curly flip over sew-in and is now currently rocking curly flip over crochet braids, we must discuss. Let's talk about all the pros of human hair crochet braids. This hairstyle was the quickest install ever. I installed 4 bundles of hair in my head in 1.5 hours. That is record time. And compare that to how long it would take me to install 4 bundles of hair in my head with a sew-in. Girl, I would be here for hours. It's so easy to crochet and I feel like it's a more beginner level skill than sewing is. Another pro about human hair crochet braids, your scalp is fully accessible, which means your hair can just breathe so much easier. Y'all, I can go in and scratch my scalp directly. As a matter of fact, you can see it. You can see my scalp all throughout my head. Y'all already know I have a scalp condition, so I really need to be able to scratch my scalp. It's already naturally itchy. If I was wearing a sew-in, those wefts would be covering most of my scalp and it's just a lot less accessible. Now, one of the biggest pros for human hair crochet, the crochet hair is supposedly reusable. Allegedly, I can take all of this out of my head and reuse it for my next install. That means I'm getting so much bang for my buck. And let me be very clear, this hair ain't cheap. I need to get my money's worth. Now, as y'all can see, I still have the hair in my head, so I can't verify that it's reusable just yet, but stay tuned to my channel because I will be filming myself taking down my hair and making sure that this hair is reusable. Now, y'all know when you do a flip over sew-in, you are required to cut the weft, because when you do the flip over method, you have to get very small pieces to lay in the front. Whenever you cut a weft, you automatically are reducing the reusability of the hair, because a cut weft means more shedding. If this hair is truly reusable, that's definitely a huge pro over a traditional sew-in. Let's talk about the pros of doing a sew-in. And shameless plug, I already have a sew-in video on my page. I showed y'all exactly how I did my curly flip over sew-in. I'll go ahead and link that video for y'all as well. That sew-in is gonna be secure. Whereas with crochet, you brush that crochet too hard, all of a sudden, you got loose hair on the floor. That's embarrassing. Sew-ins have a lot more hair options just because sew-ins are such an established way of installing hair, okay? You can find bundles that are red, purple, blue, blonde, kinky, curly, wavy, body wave, deep wave, whatever texture you're looking for, whatever color you're looking for, you can usually find it in a bundle. Human hair crochet is pretty new to the game, so there aren't a ton of options. Me, myself, I wanted some color in my head. I had to bleach this hair myself. You're automatically doing more work with crochet, whereas you can really buy the hair exactly as you need it for sew-ins. Also, I feel like you can find higher quality hair in a bundle. People are not taking their grade 8A raw virgin Remy hair and putting it in crochet just yet. We're not there yet. So if you are looking for top-notch quality hair, you're more than likely going to have to do a sew-in or a wig. Now, a sew-in does give a little bit more seamless look, and that is because crochet hair, you can only crochet it on the braid. If it ain't a braid there, you cannot attach the hair. Whereas a sew-in, you literally have a weft going from ear to ear on your head, which means you have a pretty even coverage of hair, which just makes the hair lay a lot easier. Along that lines, your braid pattern doesn't matter as much when you're doing a sew-in because, again, you can attach the hair really anywhere, especially if you use a net on top while doing a sew-in. Can't do that with crochet. We talked about the pros. Now let's get into the cons. Now, as you can imagine, every pro for sew-ins is a con for crochet braids, okay? It's a give and take. But a specific con of crochet braids is one that I also said was kind of sort of a pro, okay? And is that your braids are more exposed. It does mean that you have to be very careful of how your hair lays in the back, okay? Because if I split my hair wrong, again, my scalp is visible, and obviously you don't want your scalp to be visible while you're wearing your hairstyle. Now, cons of sew-ins, baby, that is so much tension on your head. All them stitches, all them knots, it's going to give you a headache. You do not have any of those tension problems with crochet. It's so lightweight, you can barely feel it on your head. So if you are someone who's super sensitive to tension, you don't want to cause any extra tension on your head, a sew-in is not the way to go. I'm so sorry, babes. You may have to take a Tylenol or two if you're gonna be a sew-in, shawty. So you've heard the pros of human hair crochet. You've heard the pros of a sew-in. And you've heard the cons for both. Which one you choosing? I got to go with the crochet. Here's why I gotta go with the crochet. I need a fast install. That means so much to me as somebody who DIYs their own hair. Crochet got me off the install time alone. And with that being said, you definitely have to subscribe to my channel because you will see more human hair crochet videos from me, including an install video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you team sew-in or are you team crochet braids? I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.